Hello there. It's Marceline, and yep, you read the title of this video. I shall try my best to explain the many references in the Fahrenheit games. This is a tall order because these games are well known to have so many things in them that are inspired by other things, yet Myro adds a little twist to them to make them their own thing. Oh wow, I said the word thing a lot. I hope that made sense. There's even a debate about how far you can take this towards almost breath. Myro takes it to the sky and beyond. If something is in his games, most likely it came from something else. Even the name Termina is from Zelda. God damn it, man. So why am I making such a video? That's because of a deal I made with my darling, my love, my partner, my sunshine, my everything. To motivate her to post her first YouTube video, I offered her an exclusive Marceline VIP YouTube pass that allowed her to suggest a video idea and I would immediately work on it. She wanted a video on the references in the Fahrenheit games. Look at that, she posted a video and here we are. This one is for you, my love. By the way, check out her stuff, she's a really talented cosplayer. Fun fact, we met through Fahrenheit. That's right, Myro made two of the most horrifying and, to be honest, gross video games ever, and it led me to meet the love of my life. The beauty of horror, baby! Oh, we can't forget the lovely Kuma who made the Dan avatar used for the thumbnail of this video. It perfectly captures how I felt trying to find as many references as I could for this video. They also made these cute chibi art as well, which I'll explain their use later in the video. Please, please, please show them some love. They do make the naughty stuff, so you've been warned, but that's no excuse. Support Kuma now. The links are in the description of this video. Do it! Okay folks, we need to set some rules up before we truly dive into this hell. Number 1, this won't be a video about all of the references. There's no way I can find all of them. That's an impossible task. Plus Termina is getting an update, so more will revive the Mel. Number 2, I will use these chibi art by Kuma and put them in the corner of the video when talking about the reference to give you an idea of how confident I am about the reference being a reference. If it's Dan, then I'm not sure if it even is a reference. Marina, then I am confident. And Osa, I'm 100% sure it is a reference. Number 3, sometimes something could be or could not be a reference. I may think too much into one being a reference to something when it isn't, etc. This is partly why making such a video is hell. Unless Myro makes a video with every single reference, we won't truly know what is and isn't a reference. I hope that made sense because I'm only one person. I can't read minds, okay? I'll do my best. I promise you that. Number 4, if I miss any, please let me know. Make a video yourself or write a comment. I can guarantee that I will miss quite a few. Number 5, most of the ones I will cover will be from Termina. Don't worry, I will cover ones from the first game as well. I'm just going to say it, I prefer Termina over the first game. Number 6, there will be spoilers / information about other media, and I will put a list on the screen as I am speaking on which ones they are. Listen people, I really try my best not to spoil anything, but I just can't. In order for me to explain the reference, I have to spoil it. Look at the list and make sure you're okay being spoiled on those medias. Number 7, there's a channel called No Commentary that used to make great Fahrenheit videos. They made a video that covered tons of references in the Fahrenheit games. They deleted their channel, but an archive was made. Even though I will mostly try to find references on my own, I will be using this video to help me out, plus the wiki. Number 8, I will be talking about some medias that I haven't experienced myself. If I get anything wrong about them, let me know! I am no LARPer or tourist. I am honest about what I have experienced and what I haven't. Number 9, originally this was going to be an iceberg, but honestly I couldn't be bothered to organize it into one, so I'm just gonna spit them out. Let's do this! Termina. Yep, let's start with the one I mentioned in the intro. The name Termina comes from the Zelda series. This one I found out from my best friend, because she's a massive Zelda fan, just like Myro. When I told her about the game, she instantly went, Termina is from Zelda. I think that's so cool. By the way, there will be more Zelda references. Needle-senpai! He is based off Art the Clown from the Terrifying movies. We even have a sprite of him that really does look like Art. I'm glad Myro changed his design to make Needle-senpai be his own character. I will even go one step further and say even his actions in the game feel like something that Art the Clown would do. I love the Terrifying movies. It's kind of why I love Needle-senpai a lot. I recommend them, but they're not for everyone. Trust me, there's a lot of gore and blood in them. And that's putting it really lightly. Marco's Bizarre Adventure. Marco's design is based off the art of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We know this because the man himself shared this work in process of making Marco on his YouTube channel. He even calls it a JoJo reference. Oh my god! The Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. Pocket Cat's face is very similar to the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. Always grinning and in an upbeat, chill mood. There is a connection, in my opinion, because both characters' stories are linked to children. I really don't want to explain Project Cat's connection to kids. Dear lord, no. Myro, no! Troll Mauler behind the bars. This is a clear nod to Red Pyramid Feint from Silent Hill 2. What's really funny is how obvious of a reference this is. Myro didn't even try to change it. That's how good the moment was in Silent Hill 2. Don't fix what wasn't broken. I will say my boy Troll Mauler definitely has I'm gonna kill you vibes. The rifle in the locked house. In the village area of Termina, there's a locked house that requires a small key or the lock-picking skill to unlock. There isn't much in it, however if you go upstairs, there's a rifle on the wall with one bullet. I think this is a reference within a reference. In Resident Evil 4, during the village fight, you can enter a house that will start a cutscene and spawn the chainsaw boss. If you head up the stairs, there is a shotgun on the wall. This reference is an inverse. Lee unlocks the house when he enters it, you unlock it. Wait, what is the reference within the reference? In my opinion, the rifle only having one bullet could be a reference to Marina's gun from the Born from a Wish DLC in Silent Hill 2. She uses a revolver, not a rifle, but the gun only having one bullet is telling. If I'm being super honest, the one bullet thing is more of a zombie genre reference because you want to save the last bullet for yourself instead of turning. Anywho, I like to believe this is a 2-for-1 reference. Myro's developer logo. That's the Mona Lisa. Even the man's fucking dev logo is taken from a real life painting. He calls it happy painting, yet she's not smiling. 10 out of 10. I love it. Karen's jacket. Her jacket could be a nod to the jacket that Leon S. Kennedy wears in Resident Evil 4. Poland is in the Fear and Hunger universe. Myro made a post showing Levi in Boleslaw, a place in Poland. When X displayed your liked tweets, posts, Myro liked replies with people responding to the post with a Polish flag or saying yay Poland. This confirms in my eyes that Poland is indeed in the Fear and Hunger universe, which is kind of funny because Myro really went out of his way to make the world of Fear and Hunger its own thing, with unique names for countries, weapons, etc. Then BAM! Poland just appears out of nowhere. Myro, please never change. Kurt Cobain's montage to the Het cover art album. The monster called the Harvestman is based off the design of this creature in Kurt Cobain's montage of the Het cover art album. It's not a 1-to-1 by the way. The Harvestman has additional limbs, for example. I remember seeing him for the first time and I was like, what the hell? I've seen this before. What? That's the thing from Kurt's album! By the way, Kurt Cobain's music was truly one of a kind. The alien facehugger. I can't really show you this one. The woodsman in Termina has a very funny looking penis that appears to be its own living creature. If you don't kill it, guard when it jumps, or successfully win the coin toss, it will hug your character's face, like the alien facehugger. Pretty much it's a game over because it's like an infinite stun. There's even animation when it does it, and even your character art will be updated with one on your face. This is a very clear nod to the Alien movies. However, I think the one in Termina is more horrifying than the ones in the Alien movies. I can't get into too much detail in this video, but the Alien movies has a lot of symbolism about sexual abuse and the result of it. For example, the surgery scenes of removing the alien side of the character represents abortions. Myro understands this and doubles the fuck down. The facehuggers represent unconsensual oral sex. Just with sounds and texts alone, Termina doesn't hide that fact and makes it even more gross. In my opinion, this is better than the original. Also, this counts as a Half-Life reference because Myro has stated that the head crabs played a part in its inspiration. So yeah, the more you know. The spider shield from Dark Souls. The spider shield that appears in Dark Souls makes an appearance in Fear and Hunger. In Dark Souls, it simply offers resistance to poison. In Fear and Hunger, the lizardman uses that shield, but it does something different. If you use the shield skill, then for the rest of the battle, if you attack any part of the lizardman's limb, my god, that fucking word, he will counterattack you, which is so dangerous. You can even equip it if you find one, but it only offers a defensive buff and slashing damage reduction. The herbs from Resident Evil. This is one of the most famous examples when people say Fear and Hunger takes inspiration from other media. Herbs are used in both Fear and Hunger games. They act very similar to the ones in Resident Evil. You can use them on their own, combine them for a stronger effect, etc. However, there is one big difference. In Fear and Hunger, you need the Acamelia volumes to combine the herbs. In Resident Evil, you just have to combine them. This adds a level of stress to the survival horror. Do you hold on to the herbs until you can learn to combine them for a greater effect, or do you use the herb for a small instant benefit? In addition, herbs in Resident Evil for the most part only heal health. In Fear and Hunger, they also have multiple uses, such as curing diseases and poison. No joke, this boy from Finland expanded the herb system for Resident Evil. The butterfly from Persona. In Termina, you can see blue butterflies throughout the game. They pretty much guide you to areas that help you get the ending A. In the Persona series, the butterfly kinda does the same thing, but not really. It is complex, but to keep it really simple, it represents fate and the MC's destiny. You could make the case case ending A is the true ending, right? Wrong. The butterfly in the Persona series is the actual person named Philemon. The butterfly from Termina is controlled by Logic, or is Logic, aka the machine god. She manipulated you into thinking this was your fate. In a really cool way, the idea of fate is thrown out of the window. There are greater powers controlling the weak, aka you. To paraphrase Sam Marie, there's very little humans can do against the gods. They do what they want. I love this because this is all told with a butterfly. Hell, just look at Philemon and Logic side by side. On the left side of their face is a butterfly wing. By far, this could be the best reference in the series. It's not just a reference, but explores the idea of fate, your own destiny, or if a greater power has been controlling your every movement all this time. I have covered wars, you know. Our favourite feminist Karen has a line in the intro where she says, "I have covered wars, you know." This was said by Frank West from the Dead Rising series. I will mention that even though she is very different to Frank, they actually do share some things in common. They're sassy, they do care for others, and they both know how to use a gun, just to name a few. Lizaros from Zelda. What the fuck was Miyamoto smoking when he came up with that name? This is another Zelda reference. The lizard man has a similar design to the Lizaros. I don't care if I butcher that name. It's such a ridiculous name. From Zelda! It could be a stretch, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mario outright said it was a reference to the Zelda creature. The Velvet Room from Persona. Yes, you heard me right. This one is a bit layered, so let me explain. Igor and Pikili services are really similar. They give vague guides to the player about fate, etc. They both allow the player to become stronger, fusing personas, getting skills. You can even talk to them as well. Time stops when you visit them. They both appear when the player sleeps. They allow the player to get powerful skills / shadows. They can both troll you with an accident fusion, or a skill that can instantly kill you. Only when the player becomes stronger / have soul stones can you get stronger skills or shadows. It's so insane how similar these two are. And I'm going to take it a step further. In Persona 5, there's twists that the Igor you're speaking to is a fake and is an evil god who you have to fight. When you're going for ending B or C, Pikili will admit he hates you, and in a twist, you have to fight him. Maybe I am thinking too much about it, but once you understand that Mario loves JRPGs, it all makes sense. Moon from The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. This is another reference that people point out. The moon god Rare is based off Moon from Majora's Mask. It stares at you, it even crashes down, etc. What I love about how Mario made Rare is that you can tell it's a nod to Zelda, but it still feels unique. It's nothing like the moon at all. Veloz, the web manga, and Neko the Seagull. So alright, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't like this boss, so I'm gonna make this one quick. Rancid the Seagull is a reference to two things, a web manga known as Veloz, and a YouTuber called Neko the Seagull. Now, this one's a bit weird because Mario has gone permission to use this race of creature in the game. However, he also said that it doesn't actually exist in the Fairy Hunter universe. So it's like, why not make something new? Why did you just include it into your game? Like, it's a bit odd. And then we have the YouTuber one, where basically the name Seagull is a reference to the YouTuber Soul Edge from Soul Calibur. Yep, Misama is a very clear nod to the iconic sword from Soul Calibur. What's really cool is that Mario didn't just take inspiration from the sword visually, but in game as well. Soul's Edge is described as an evil sword, a weapon that holds all bad energy in the world. Misama also has a unique effect, tied to when characters have low mind. Monty Python's The Black Knight. If you fight Hendrik and cut off one of his arms, he will say, "'Tis but a scratch," which is a line said by the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I always giggle when Hendrik says that. I love the Monty Python. Poe from Zelda. It's another Zelda one, baby! Poe in the Zelda series are ghosts that you fight. You can capture them in a bottle. In Termina, Poe will pop out from a lamp, which is definitely a cute nod to how you could put one into a bottle in Zelda. Mario loves to do the inverse. By the way, I love how Poes in the Zelda universe are cute little enemies, but in Termina, Poe is super dangerous and not cute at all. Anima from Final Fantasy X. This may be one of the coolest references in the game in my humble opinion, and my love, Sally's favourite one. Most of the contestants have a Moonstorch form. Marina turns into Cocoon. Of course, we know that Marina is trans, and her Moonstorch form is a not so subtle symbolism of that fact, but the design itself is really similar to Anima from Final Fantasy X. I'm still playing the game and I haven't reached the boss fight. Final Fantasy X is my bestie's favourite Final Fantasy game. As a little test, since I read the inspiration of Kaku's design on the wiki, I thought I would show it to her to see if she recognises the design. No joke, she saw it and like 4 seconds later said, "This Mario dude loves Final Fantasy X." Maybe this could just be a coincidence, but Mario loves JRPGs. Jesus and Christianity. One of the gods, Ulmer, is based off Christianity, and Ulmer himself is a cooler Jesus. I want to mention mention how much I love that Myro didn't twist him to be evil like many cults and horror movies. You know, they worship someone they deem a god and they're super evil and they just twist the words around. Ulmer, by all accounts, is a chill dude with teleporting powers. He was loved by the people. What I love the most about what Myro did with him is connecting the idea of Jesus giving himself, aka his body, to those who worship him. Even his engrave mark gives physical damage defense. I think in terms of Christianity as a whole, no one seems to talk about that. Jesus wasn't just a cool dude, but he gave himself to those who followed him. The human centipede. I can't show any of this one, sorry. There's a horror movie where a mad doctor sews 3 victims together. They're sewn mouth to butt. When one takes a poop, it goes into the other's mouth. It's gross, okay? Stitches, who by the way is my favourite monster, who is beautiful, has her own version of the human centipede named Skinflesh. If you lose to her, then you get a game over and become a part of her Skinflesh version of the human centipede. What's even grosser is that Myro made her version have more victims. It looks like one big messy monster, and I definitely prefer this over the movie. The movie sucks a lot, by the way. The idea is scarier than the film itself. What if it happened to you? The movie is just a dragged out mess. It honestly would have worked better as a short film. Stitches. Speaking about Stitches, her name could be a nod to the horror slasher movie Stitches from 2012. I haven't seen the movie, but from what I have seen, the name is the only connection they have with each other. Shabby Doll from Silent Hill 4. This may not be a reference, however, it just screams at me. There is an equipment called Molded Doll you can get in the Moldy Apartments in Termina. In Silent Hill 4, Henry lives in an apartment complex. He can encounter Walter Sullivan, who will offer the Shabby Doll to him. Do not take it, by the way. That's it. It's a small detail. If I ever go out of my way to get the Molded Doll, it reminds me of the Shabby Doll. It has a sentimental value, okay? Because I love Silent Hill 4! Eyes Wide Shut. The Mask of the Red Death. This is definitely one of the more subtle references in Termina, and you could make the case that the idea was in the first game, maybe? The idea is that while the world is suffering, the elites are safe and having a party. In Termina, the party where Podcat is chilling represents that. I would even make the case that the cultists that do the naughty in the first game also do this. They may not be the elite, but while shit is going down in dungeons, they're having a good time, Greek gods ascending to godhood. I am very surprised that I haven't seen people talk about this. You know how the gods in the first game, and I guess in Termina as well, they all have very different personalities, and some of them are just rude and vile? Guess which gods and goddesses were also rude, vile, and boastful? The Greek gods. To name one example,
Francois,
the dominating one, reminds me of Zeus. He's arrogant, self-absorbed, thinks he's the best, etc. I'll even go one step further. You know how
Francois
has a coin flip attack in his second form, where he will sexually assault the player? Zeus was famous for doing the same thing to humans. He wanted to dominate them. Also in Fear and Hunger, there is a concept of ascending to godhood. This is also a thing in Greek mythology. Heracles achieved this, putting hands into holes in Silent Hill 2. In Silent Hill 2, James has a habit of putting his hands into holes. You can also do this in Termina when you go in the other world. It's safe to do so. It doesn't change the fact it's still gross. The Black Goat. This one is really obvious. Black goats are linked in folklore to the devil. You can recruit one into your party named Black Kelev. Nice. Also, when recruiting the goat, the NPC you have to speak to looks like he lives in Bloodborne. Dr. Salvador from Resident Evil 4. Dr. Salvador from Resident Evil 4 is a boss that spawns in different areas of the game. He wields a chainsaw. The mob consists of a rifleman, half cocoon, and importantly, meat grinder, who wields something similar to a chainsaw. This alone doesn't mean there is a connection. However, you face Dr. Salvador while a mob of villagers attack you. Meat Grinder is part of the mob. In my opinion, this is a very clear connection. Shebeto from Forbidden Sirens. In the video game Forbidden Sirens, Shebeto are the main enemies you will face in the game. One of them looks like a villager in the early game of Termina. This is really cool. I didn't notice until I did research for this video, and when I discovered this, I was like, how did I miss that? Midwich Elementary School from Silent Hill 1. The school from Silent Hill 1 is in Termina. I don't know what else to say. Yes, there are some differences, but no, the man named Myro wanted the excuse to add it to his game. Fair enough, but I'm still gonna call him shameless. Kinda, maybe. That's up to you to decide. Golgoroth from Cthulhu Mythos. By the name alone, you can guess what Myro took for his Golgoroth inspiration. I did do a little research to see if Golgoroth is similar to Golgoroth. Okay, I'll stop. To be honest, apart from being linked to cults, they're not the same. One of them's form changes depending on the person who sees it. You hate clowns, that fucker will turn into a clown. You hate tall buildings, he'll turn into a tall building, etc, etc. It's tied to your fears, basically. The Fog from Silent Hill. No, more Silent Hill references! They're breaking in! Yes, there are fog in the games. Silent Hill is famous for its fog. The real question is, which game's fog is it? Silent Hill 1's fog is not the same as 2. You can make the case that the 1 and 2 is a gateway to James entering his nightmare. It's actually part of the town. In a way, it's its own being. Guess what? You never saw it coming! This should also be a Persona 4 reference. The fog in that game has a mind of its own too. In the end game, you learn about a god who literally creates the fog. Maybe Rare or Logic is creating the fog in Termina. Ooh, but honestly, it's probably a Silent Hill thing. Lord of the Flies. This one is for sure a reference by name. There's a monster called Lord of the Flies in the first game. There's a book called Lord of the Flies. They have no connection apart from the name. Unless the monster grew up with no adults around, it could explain why it isn't an intelligent being. Mary's Letter from Silent Hill 2. I talked about this connection in my Marina video in more detail, but to explain it briefly, it's the inverse to the letter James has that makes him go to Silent Hill. The letter he has was never real. Marina 1 is. Mary passed away, so how did she send the letter? Marina's mama passed away, but her dad sent the letter. Both do its job in making James/Marina enter Silent Hill/Pre-Evil. I love how Mario took Mary's letter and changed it for his game. It's really clear how much he loves the series. Joan of Arc. This one is more of a design reference. Durance's appearance is based on Joan of Arc. That's it. Maybe this means she's French? James looking for his wife. Unlike Marina's letter, this is definitely more of a literal reference, with a different ending to James's one. Dan and James are trying to find answers about what happened to their wife. One gets the answer, but the other doesn't. Dan falls into a depression. He's even doing the James pose! Rip Dan. I hope you get a better ending B. Even James gets a better ending than him. The Torturer from Berserk. One of many Berserk references. There's an enemy in Fear 101 who without any doubt is a nod to the Torturer who fucked Griffith up. A lot of people know you can get tortured by him, but he can be a friend and is important in getting one of the more unique armors in the game. The Horse from Berserk. An unused enemy looks like the Horse from Berserk. I'm glad Mario didn't include it in the game. That is all. Crawling into holes in Silent Hill 4. In the moldy apartments in Termina, there is a washing machine puzzle. Once you solve it, you can crawl into it and enter the other world. This is the gimmick of Silent Hill 4. Henry crawls through holes and enters the dream world. If you really want to take it a bit further, in Silent Hill 2, there's a writing on the wall about holes. Yellow King from H.P. Lovecraft. This is another one which I don't know how shameless it is. Mario just plucked it and was like, I like this. He didn't even change the name as well. And the design for the Yellow Cane is really similar to the Yellow Cane from H.P. Lovecraft. All I will say is balls of this developer. Doing a little bit of research, they don't really have much in common apart from being powerful beings. Slurper from Silent Hill 3. It's Silent Hill 3 time! There's a monster called Slurper, and it's heavily inspired the monster called Neighbor in Termina. That's really it. I think that's cool. Proteus 4 from Demon Seed. Demon Seed is a 1977 horror sci-fi movie. Let's just say it's an experience for sure. There is a creature called Proteus 4, and its design is similar to the embryo in Fear and Hunger. I'm pretty confident this is a reference because embryo is birthed by uterus. Proteus 4 wants to create life for someone who does not want anything to do with it, but eventually she does carry the demon seed. Bad joke aside, this movie is wild. The fact that embryo is connected to birth tells me there's a very clear connection between the two. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, collecting Poe souls. I will admit this could be a wild take, but knowing how much Mario adores Zelda, I'm gonna put it in here. In both games, you can get souls. You can get Poe souls in Twilight Princess. They even look like souls from Termina. This man has no limit. Alright, you love Zelda, Mario, we get it! For real, this is a really cool concept Mario expanded upon. Griffith is from Berserk. I have seen this one so many times. The guard is most likely, is based off Griffith from Berserk. They're both handsome, they both want their own kingdoms, they run their own mercenaries group, they get tortured, achieve godhood, etc, etc. They even have their own simps, like me. There are a few differences such as Griffith is part of the God's Hand, and the God is an independent. Angels from the Old Testament. This is another visual inspiration. Angels from the Old Testament has been depicted with these rings around them. When you fight Rare, he too has these rings around him. They even have eyes on them like the angels. Nice! Underwater shipwreck of the USS Sabotora. This is definitely one of the more slicker references. The God of the Depths is based off a picture of the underwater shipwreck of the USS. To be clear, this isn't a creature, but a shipwreck. And Myro saw it and did the genius thing and made it into a creature. Let's be honest, when you look at this picture, it screams at you that it has a giant mouth. I love it. Female Xenobite. In the movie Hellraiser, there's a character called Female Xenobite, wearing slick black and bold. Durance, when she ascends to godhood, has a similar appearance to her. Bold! This is a very cute nod to that character and movie. Irish Wolfhound. Not really a nod, but Myro wanted to add the real hound breed into his games, both the heads and without version. Yeah, no wonder they can kill you so easily. They're huge! I even did a little research to find out if they're dangerous, and the answer is no, they are hella chill. Makes me wonder what the fuck the chosen character did at the start of the game to piss them off. Study of the portrait of Pope Innocent X by Virgilis. I hope I said that right. I will admit, I'm not so sure what in Fahrenheit this painting inspired, if it did inspire Myro, but if I were to take a guess, I would say it reminds me of the Ascended God saying down at the Grand Hall. That's my take. If you think differently, please let me know. Caradura, the Roman Emperor. Caradura is probably based upon the Roman Emperor Caradura. Not only do their names sound similar, but their personalities too. They're cruel, ruthless, and violent. This Roman was so evil, they even killed his wife and child after his death. How fucked of a person must he have been that Romans were like, we can't let this evil spread, with his wife and daughter. He was stabbed over 30 times. It's very fitting that Caradura is also hated by everyone in the game. Study of the Lucan fraud. This is another cool one. You could make the case that Myro was being shameless and plucked that face and put it into Termina, but no, he transformed it. Now, if Myro used that piece as a painting in the game, then yeah, I would definitely call it shameless, but he's taking it and making something new. Jagan. I was surprised when I saw this one, but yeah, part of Levy's Moonstorch form inspired by this manga. What's really cool is that it has a lot of body horror. No wonder Myro took a liking to it. Marlon Manson. Okay, so Marie looking like him is a meme, but Caradura's original design definitely took inspiration by Marlon Manson. This one reminds me of Art the Clown / Needle Senpai. The original design isn't bad, but the changes was done to make Caradura feel more unique, be his own character, and ultimately I'm glad Myro changed it. Demon Bloodsword. Myro watches Adventure Time. Based! I love the idea of creating a weapon made from your body, especially your blood. Even though it's not worth using because it's so bad in the game. The sword from Adventure Time is one of the strongest swords in the series. Maybe in the next Termina update, it will make an appearance again. Vedatai, Silent Hill 3. This is totally a name-only reference, since the monster and the god Vedatai are nothing alike. Well, okay, the name itself is linked to divine religious stuff, but that's it. Who knows, maybe Myro liked the name and it has nothing to do with the Silent Hill 3 monster. Glutton, Silent Hill 3. God, Silent Hill 3. Saturn by Prohinium, Venus de Malo. I want to say this is the best examples of how Myro transforms art he adores. That doesn't mean he isn't shameless with some of them. The fact he goes out of his way to birth something new is amazing. I love this so much. So yeah, I don't really need to explain it, but yeah, this is so cool. I really do love this. The map from Silent Hill. Speaking of shameless, that fucking rat wants to add the Silent Hill map in Termina. That's it. I'm not going to explain it, because there are some differences, obviously, but it's the Silent Hill map, god damn it. Damn it, Myro, why are you so shameless? Nah, all jokes aside, we all love you, Myro. Olga, the Headless Girl. This is one I learnt recently. The Headless Girl seen in the other world is based off an illusion from the early 1900s. I don't just think it's just for show, by the way. A big thing with Termina is dreams. What is real versus what isn't real. To have a classic illusion appearing in the other world is a cute, subtle nod to that theme. Silent Hill's Otherworld. In Silent Hill, there's the real world and the other world. It does get a bit complicated on what exactly the other world is, and hell, in Silent Hill 2, till this day, people debate when James enters the other world. In Termina, it's very clear when you enter the other world. However, in my opinion, I think the other world that Myro has taken inspiration from is Silent Hill 4's one. That game's other world is the dream world in Silent Hill 4. Henry goes to many different places. In Termina, there's a forest, a school, underground tunnels, a moon tower, etc, etc. etc., it all feels like a different reality. Even Marina, who returns home, doesn't really recognize it anymore. You could even make the case that the second the contestants left the train, they entered the other world. Not to mention, they make a big deal about the dream in the intro of the game. Silent Hill 4 is linked heavily to dreams. If you die in the dream world, you die in the real world. Have you seen this man in your dreams? This is such a fun one. There was a time where this man's face was everywhere and people said he was in their dreams. Like a Pikili appears too. There's tons of people who made videos about it. Watch them if you want to know more. Teddington Manor statue. There is a statue that somewhat resembles the old Guardian and Nameless. I'm not 100% sure this is a reference, but it's still really cool.
That deep say charger.
I will admit this one is kinda shameless. Myro really plucked it and was like, this will be mine in my own game. Bro was like, nah, I can't transform it by changing its design at all. Obviously, Myro changed it into a actual monster you fight, and is connected to one of the S endings, so yeah, this is really cool. I love the design. Slipknot, Chris, Death Mask. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure this is the case, but I have seen some people say that Death Mask's mask, say that 3 times really quickly, reminds them of the mask that Chris wears from Slipknot. I do love me some Slipknot. If this is the case, then based, but I don't know. You can apply this to slashers. They carry a machete, and they tend to wear a mask. We need Myro to confirm this. Now, Uzumaki. This is a fun one. I knew instantly that when I saw the Hydra, I thought of the Uzumaki manga by the GOAT, Junji Ito. You should read the manga, by the way. If Junji Ito ever saw the Hydra, he would love it. His work is a parody in many ways. It would be like the Spider-Man meme. Wait a second, that's from my work, huh? Wheelchair Monster, Silent Hill Origins. This one is hella cool because Myro took concept art from Silent Hill Origins and made his own monster based on it. In my opinion, it's better. Look at the state of this. I've fallen and I can't get up. Nirvana in Utero. Another album cover that inspired a design for the uterus monster in Fear and Hunger. Again, Myro added his own twist to it. It's pretty cool. The Whore of Babylon. This line is said by Father Dominic to Saint Marie after she stabbed him. Babylon is from the Old Testament, and it's kind of messy what she represents. Some believe she is evil, whose duty is to seduce others and abuse them for amusement, but she also represents the Roman Empire. In my opinion, you can make the connection that since Saint Marie is in love with Marina, she wants to birth a new kingdom with her, ruling as 2 queens, or one, cause marriage. What gets me is that Father Dominic is the one calling her that. Does he know what Saint Marie's intentions are? Or, to be honest, it's probably used as an insult. But still, it's wild how there is a connection. Dreamt for 1,000 men. There was a video that was posted in 2013 which uploaded a song from 2 Steps from Hell. What's really interesting is the art used as the background while the song plays. It is almost a one-to-one of the Grunt Knight from Fear and Hunger. The person who uploaded this video isn't 2 Steps from Hell, nor do I think they made the art. I did a Google image search, and no joke, it said this is the Grunt Knight from Fear and Hunger, or the Ebony Warrior armor from Skyrim of all things. I didn't actually have much time to do a deep dive into this, but I am curious. If someone is willing to find out who made this art, please do, and if you discover them, let me know. Kyo, D.N. Gray. Ouroboros, D.N. Gray. This is going to be a 2 for 1 because it's from the same band. D.N. Gray is a Japanese band. Their lead singer, Kyo, has been seen to wear this. Kind of looks like the man in the painting in Termina. The font used in Termina is based upon the Ouroboros album cover, Toshio, The Grudge. The ghost girl in the school in Termina was inspired by Toshiro from The Grudge. The wiki says the way the shadow figure sits and stares is like him. I don't know, I think it's a stretch, but you decide. Kalaha. This one might be a meme, but fuck it, I'm gonna talk about it. There is a Japanese artist called Kalaha. He kind of looks like Hadara, and even their names kinda sound similar. Did Myro want to add his favorite Japanese artist in his game? You decide! For the lows, I think he did. Quincy Sternritter, Lily Burrow. I guess Myro watches Bleach. The owl spirit that the owl cultist summons during battle looks like this dude's evolved powers. Vatican City. You know how I mentioned that Poland may be a part of the Fear and Hunger universe? I guess Vatican City is a part of it too. If you don't know, it's an independent country that's surrounded by Rome in Italy. Maybe Myro just loved the name, but in my headcanon, it too is a part of the Fear and Hunger universe. Megami Tensei inspired Fear and Hunger. This one is something that no one seems to mention. In my opinion, Myro's monster design reminds me of the Megami Tensei shadow designs, especially the older games. Hell, let's throw in Persona 1 and 2 as well. Most likely this could just be me, but I say all this because the Megaton video game series has such a unique art style, so does Fear and Hunger. Also, they're both very difficult. To get the S ending in the first game, you're given like a vague hint. This is something Megami Tensei would do. Hell, my bestie told me that in Megami Tensei 4, to get the best ending is the most random shit ever, and you gotta do each stage in a certain way. One day I might even make a video comparing the series. In addition, players who adore Shin Megami Tensei and Fear and Hunger will tell you that yes, the games are bullshit, but you gotta use its own bullshit to win. Playing them as a normal game, as a normal JRPG or role-playing game, will lead you to having a bad time. Editing Mama here, I'm gonna throw in a discovery I found that really makes me believe that Mario has played Shin Megami Tensei. It's to do with Trumpeter and Golgoroth. We all know that Golgoroth has a timer mechanic tied to his boss fight. He'll cast Whispers of Golgoroth, and in 5 turns, whoever has the curse will die. Do you know what other video game has a boss fight that has a timer mechanic like this? Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, with a boss called Trumpeter. Maybe this is all coincidence, but there's so many connections. For fuck's sake, you can talk to shadows in Shin Megami Tensei. You can talk to every monster, including bosses in Fear and Hunger. The only way to recruit Moonless is by talking to her and giving her items. Just like in Shin Megami Tensei with shadows! You know what? Fuck it. No, I'm changing the chibi. Mario has played Shin Megami Tensei. If he says he hasn't,
fucking liar,
he's a fucking
fucking
liar,
piece
piece of
of
shit,
shit,
fucking
little
little
fucking rat.
Sorry, I just love that clip from Smiling Friend so much. But my point is, there is a connection. And if this man says there isn't, he's a liar. I refuse to believe him. Play Shin Megami Tensei! I'm literally about to render this video, and I found another connection between Shin Megami Tensei and Fear and the Hunger Games. Oh, and I could have done the text thing on the screen, but no, I'm gonna voice this because I have to. Grinding. Both games don't let you grind. Now, Shin Megami Tensei does have level ups, however, that doesn't make a difference. You have to have the right skills, your shadows have to have the right affinities, such as what are they resistant to, what do they can absorb, what's their weaknesses, etc., to take advantage of the press turn system. In Fear and Hunger, there's also no levels, meaning you have to use the right equipment, and this also plays into the fact that you can lose your limbs, meaning that basically you're dealt with the cards you have and doing the best in a bad situation. Another connection. Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna go one step further. Some of the bosses in Shin Megami Tensei and in Fear and Hunger have unique ways to deal with them. For example, there is a boss in Nocturne where you have to encounter him with the full moon to see his shadow because he uses clones. And the real one, his shadow appears. In Fear and Hunger, there is a boss, Francois, where you have to talk to him to make him go into an infinite stun because he's full of himself. He has a massive ego. Yeah, this man's played Shin Megami Tensei. I refuse to believe he hasn't. If he goes and if he comments in my video saying, oh no, I actually haven't played Shin Megami Tensei, you're a goddamn liar, Myro. That's a lie. That's 100% a lie. I really want to make a video now. I really want to make a video comparing the two series, but I'm gonna render this video. Tony Soprano from The Sopranos. Okay, this is a meme one I made, but let me explain. You know how Vatican City is a country in Italy? Caragura is from Vatican City. He's a mobster with mental issues. Tony Soprano is also an Italian American with mental issues. They're both horrible people. I can't find a better anywhere. Slavic themes. This is something I picked up naturally when playing Termina. Many names are Slavic. The buildings in the game resemble buildings from Slavic countries. Even the clothes some of the contestants wear resemble clothing in that part of the world. I love how it's just there, and you the player have to be the one to notice it. The multiple endings. The Nier series, which is part of the Drakengard series, is famous for multiple endings. The Fear and Hunger games do this as well. They even share the letter system. Spider-Man! So, this is a pretty well-known one. This pose that this motherfucking Night Lurch does is like the Spider-Man's one. That's it. Silent Hill 4 Death Machine. During the fight with the Tormented One, aka Meat Boy, he will summon his wheels. They look like the Death Machine from Silent Hill 4, especially the blood pool part of it. That gives it away. Marriage and Christianity. In Fear and Hunger, when you get married, both parties turn into one. This is a clear nod to how in Christianity, when you get married, it can be considered a joining of two people. Mario took that concept literally. Bobby. Yeah, the enemy is named and even looks like a police officer in the UK. Bobby is a term over here we use which means police. But honestly, nowadays we call them pigs. Bellend. Oh god, another British one. The word bellend is slang for the tip of a penis. It's mostly used as an insult. Basically, you're calling someone a dick. So what does Myro do? He makes the word into a monster, and it even has a move called Hardens. Oh god. Fun fact, another word that actually has the same meaning is knob. And yes, it's used as an insult. I wonder if Myro will make a monster called the Knob. Dun dun dun! Rusty Pipe. This is a nod to Silent Hill. In almost all of their games, you can use one. And that is it. I probably missed quite a few, but that's okay. This video isn't named all of the references. And even if it was, that would be a lie, because Mario is still working on Termina, and I know he's going to add many more when the update comes out. Again, I want to mention I made this video for my partner, Sulli. I love her so much. She's such a talented cosplayer, and we met because of Fair and 100 Termina. I love you, baby. If I was trapped in the festival held in Pnievel, I would win it and flip off Perkilian Rare to see you again, darling. Alright, I'll stop with the lovey-dovey stuff, but you know, I love her, alright? This is for her! Sally, I love you! Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the references. Tell me ones I missed. I want to hear your opinion on the debate on Mario transforming so many arts and putting them into his games. See ya! But wait, there's more! The lovely Kuma made the avatar and chibis used for this video. They deserve more love and support. I've worked with them for a long time, and they are simply amazing. And their art is honestly super cute. They do make the naughty stuff, so tread carefully. Their links will be in the description of this video. So, what are you waiting for? Go support Kuma now! Do it! Come on! What are you waiting for?